Hello, welcome. This is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan coming to you on a Friday evening. Friday, March 19th to be specific, 7:22 p.m. So how is it going, guys? Hi, AJ Vintage and VLAM, hello, and JL, how are you guys doing? As the title of this live stream implies, I'm a little tired today. Been just doing a lot of physical activity for the past few days, and today no exception. So this will probably not the world's longest live stream or anything like that. It won't be on for many hours or anything like that. So, which is probably cool for you guys, so you don't have to blow your Friday night on me or YouTube or anything like that, unless you really want to. But yeah, just gonna keep it chill tonight. Just answer some questions and listen to what you guys are up to, and yeah, see what's going on. So let's see who else has come on here. Sean and Trini. Yeah, that's the title. Lol, ask a tired and sore vegan anything. That is me today. Let's see. All right, cool. Izzy, hey, what's up, Izzy? Thanks for joining us here on a Friday night. And Matt, hey, what is up, Matt? Oh, you got vaccinated for you today. Was that the first of two, or did you get the J&J one, which is one? But yeah, cool. Let me know how that goes. I still am not eligible. Curious. Are you probably in another state maybe, or do you have an occupation or something? Because yeah, even though I'm over the age of 50, I could lie and say I have a pre-existing condition, and they don't check. They don't ask for a doctor's note, but I don't really want to do that if I don't really have to, so I'll just wait a little bit longer, I guess. Cool. I've helped make your Friday nights, AJ Vintage. Awesome. Cool. You guys help make mine too, even when I'm tired and sore here. I was going to say a tired vegan. I feel more sore than tired, if anything. I feel sun-sapped too. I was out in the sun earlier today. I was at the one of the local basketball courts from about 11 to noon, or no, 11:30 to 12:30. So I got some pretty decent sun. So I think that sapped me a little bit of energy, and just moving around outdoors on a basketball court for an hour will do that to you as well. Cool. Thanks, V. I've had this shirt for a long time now. It's one of my faves. Okay, you just got the first shot so far, JL. Your arm and back were sore for 2 days, but feel better now. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard of different people having different reactions. Okay, Matt's the one that just got it today. So yeah, JL, you got one so far. You got Moderna. You live in Sacramento. You have high blood pressure, so they called to set me up an appointment. I didn't see. I was just reading online, like the state of California's guidelines, which conditions they consider to bump people up the priority. I didn't see high blood pressure, but if you got a call to get it, cool. Let's see, AJ, your first Pfizer shot. Yeah, I know the Pfizer and Moderna are the 2-shot one. Second one next month. Cool. Yeah, one day I hope too. Before I tell you, I wanted to think about it more, see more information, get more data on it. Yeah, I'm sign me up. I just don't want to cut in line. I have some moral quandaries about that, so I'll just kind of wait. They say maybe in 3 or 4 weeks they'll open it up to people 50 and up or 40 and up or something. So I'm just gonna wait. And Long Beach has its own health department here too, so they're doing their own vaccinations here, so I don't have to depend on say LA County or something like that, and which I heard is kind of a nightmare. They're sending people all over. I have a friend who said he's driving to the desert, Lancaster, which is technically LA County, I guess, but it's like an hour and a half's drive or something like that. So anyway, yeah, basketball was a lot, Izzy, especially when, hey, Joey the cat, what are you doing in here? Hey, 1 second, let me move Joey the cat out of here. 1 second here. Let me put this graphic up. All right, I'm back. I finally used that Be Right Back graphic. I made it, never used it before. Because when I've had to step away, just see my dumb chair, which is not that exciting. So anyway, Yeah, I didn't technically play basketball against anyone, but I did a pretty hard workout on the court. Just, my body's not used to moving like that, especially for an hour outside on a hard court. So yeah. Total Cat, what's my thoughts on Freely? Just kind of impartial. I mean, I used to watch more of her content when I was newer to YouTube, like in 13, 14, something like that. But, since then I've kind of moved on, and yeah, a lot of people I watched then, I don't watch anymore. And a lot of, that's true. A lot of people watched me back then and moved on and everything. It's just how it works out. So all I know is, doesn't she live in a jungle and she's fruitarian again, which surprised me, because she started that whole raw tofu thing. So yeah, I really don't know what she's up to, what she's doing other than, fruitarian. So I'm glad, she hasn't, as far as I know, like got, misunderstood one of my fruitarian videos that I've made, and got upset about me about it because I'm not against fruitarianism. I eat raw all the time. Like today after my basketball workout, had my raw smoothie. So anyway, so hopefully we can all just get along. Wow, VLAM. Sorry to hear that bunch of people aren't getting shots in your air, so they give them to anyone. Wow. Okay, Vicky, yeah, I saw that, yeah, certain BMIs made people eligible, at least here in California. But yeah, I'm still not legally eligible yet, unless I lie about a pre-existing condition. I read that it's like an honor system. They don't fact check it, and there's no penalty so far if you lie about it. But I heard there's one unintentional consequence. I don't know if it'll affect me, but I heard in the future, what are they called? Life insurance companies can check public records like this of health records and see, oh, Ryan had a pre-existing condition for COVID vaccinations, and they could hold that against me, but I don't have life insurance. Cosmic Madman. Hey, hello Ryan, and good job on the Vegan Gains live stream last week, or a couple days ago. Wish you could see there are different styles of activism. That's how I was trying to get the point across. I wish I threw up more. In retrospect, I wish I brought up even more examples. I threw out, like, say, Dr. Garth Davis, but Mike the Vegan, doesn't use a lot of those kind of like emotional triggering, whatever you want to call those kinds of words. There's a whole bunch of us that do that. So it's not like I'm in a weird company of strange people or anything like that. I've said this way before the debate a couple nights. I've been saying this for years to you guys on the live streams. And I'll say it again, my opinion's no different, that there's no one right way to be a vegan activist. The only right way to do it is the way that's going to be most effective for you, depending on what your strengths are, what your skills are, what your background is. Everyone's different, and we should honor that diversity rather than trying to have everyone say the same thing and have the same message. Like I said, it'd be a waste of Dr. Garth Davis's experience as a medical doctor, his experience as a published author, it'd be a waste for him to not leverage his knowledge and expertise in health and medicine and his activism. So yeah, that's my whole point. Why should someone who never got past 8th grade or someone with 2 doctorate medical degrees have to message veganism the exact same way? It makes zero sense. Jose, am I sore after the debate with Vegan Gains? Well, it's kind of a mixed bag, I mean, I do have a weird taste in my mouth knowing that, I'm not saying he's that, but he was speaking from a perspective of a certain type of vegan out there who doesn't honor or respect vegans like, say, me or Mike the Vegan, or friends of ours like Chris Vegan Zombie, Brian Turner, those annoying vegans, Bananiac, people I hang out with who don't vocalize or verbalize words in a certain way. If we don't do that, we're second-rate vegans. So I'm kind of bummed that there's probably a subset of vegans who have that perspective. Think me, Mike the Vegan, Dr. Garth are all a bunch of lame asses or something like that. That's cool, so I'm kind of bummed on that. I left a sore taste in my mouth, but I at least was not bummed at the end when Richard finally got my point that I can conceptually agree with some of these propositions that I don't vocalize in my activism, So I mean, at least we left it at that. So yeah. Yeah, Uncle Walt. I mean, you pick your own tribe, you know? I mean, you surround yourself with the people that you want. You know, Mike the Vegan, you know, I've always said great things about Mike the Vegan, you know? You know, we've been fans of his before, back when he, like, you know, like I said with Richard, when we discovered these guys before, you know, they had like maybe a couple hundred followers or something like that. So we've been friends with Mike forever. And yeah, I mean, I do communicate with Mike probably more than anyone. Off on the side, we'll text and message each other from time to time, occasional phone calls or something like that. But yeah, I'm aligning myself with my tribe. Cool. Yeah, I agree with you, Sonny. All types of activism has its place, knowing the movement before the context of what's happening. Ooh, I see your tip there, Matt. Let me get that for you. I'll come back to that in a second. But here's a point too. Like, some vegans are communicating in their activism with different people than others. Like, say, I'm usually not out, like, you know, like debating carnists or you know, stuff like that. My activism is, I'm trying to actually convert people to be vegan. I'm not trying to like bully them or make them feel like bad people. My whole point is to convince people to go vegan. Case in point, like, you know, at least until COVID, I'm at the gym. They see my vegan jerseys, my basketball jerseys, and they usually didn't care up until the Game Changers. And as soon as that movie hit, they're asking me questions. And instead of me telling them that they're bad people or something like that, I'm actually feeding them information that's like planting more seeds than what the Game Changers. The Game Changers planted some seeds. I'm like, you know, planting some more seeds, putting some water on them, trying to lay the right conditions for them to eventually go vegan. Maybe they're not going to go for animal reasons, ethical reasons, but that's totally fine. I've said I really don't care why someone goes vegan, because I believe firmly the longer you stay, the more you learn. The more you learn about the great, I always call it the triple win. It's a win for animals, it's a win for personal health, it's a win for the environment, and now I'm going to add a fourth win. It's a win for like physical activity for athletes. So it's a win-win-win situation. So my way of activism, which is different than Richard's, and there's no one right way, you know. My way of activism is to try to meet people where they're at, kind of like do a read on them, if you will, and see which of these messages is going to resonate most with them to make them actually convert, or at least get them on the path, the positive, you know, the positive perspective of what veganism is, so they actually might become vegan one day. That's how I do things, you know. You know, Richard, I don't think he does that as much. I could be wrong, you know. We do a lot of outreach to people who are just not combative. You know what I'm saying? We talk to, you know, people who are just, you know, friendly people, and they're generally, yeah, sure, I deal with anti-vegans that hate me and stuff like that, but generally we're dealing with people who, as long as you don't put them on the defense or by insulting them or whatever, if you keep them, you know, on the keep them with their minds open and receptive. That's my whole point. And I try to dispel what's their fear. Why can't they go vegan? What is their fear? And I try to figure out what it is, and then I'll show them the proper information to dispel such myths. That's my, like, you know, my way of doing activism. Like I said, that's not everyone's way, but that's my way. And you know, that's nothing's really changed that in the time being. Let's see, Matt, thanks for the first super chat tip of the day. For Future Pizza, any new music coming soon? Was listening to Love Spirals, our band while driving today. Yeah, I was just working on a song a couple nights ago. I got new ones gestating, and we have a few older ones where we need to finish up some vocals. But yeah, stuff is coming along. Let's see. Foturka, I hope he still respects our brand of activism, even though we have differences. I hope he can respect that everyone has their own unique strengths, their own backgrounds, their own preferences. Like I said, not every vegan has to be, like, you know, a vegan activist. If their way of being an activist, like, say, like I'll refer to, like, you know, these accounts I see where I'm not going to mention it, some friends of ours, particularly a lot of females, will just post pictures of their delicious looking, very attractive vegan meals. And if that's the most that they feel comfortable doing, that's great. I respect that. There's a place for that. Not everyone is comfortable enough to like say, hey, I'm gonna like, quit my job and start a new life as a vegan activist and go on all these tours and stuff like that. Some people are built for that. Others want to just keep on what they're doing and contribute in whichever way they feel like they're most comfortable and most qualified to, what they're willing to do. Not everyone is willing to put themselves out there too, like I kind of am. So anyway, AJ Vintage, what do you say to someone who says they'd go vegan except for the cheese? That argument worked about 10 years ago, AJ, and now there's so many delicious vegan cheeses which are virtually in taste and texture 100% indistinguishable from actual bovine cheese. So that argument doesn't fly anymore. Not a bit. Like I said, 10 years ago, maybe. Now it doesn't work. Yeah, so there you go, AJ Vintage. See, I know I'm talking about some of you guys. I had a couple friends specifically in mind when I said that, but I know, yeah, there you go, AJ. That's what you do on IG. Post pics of your vegan meals and cocktails. And who's to say that's like a not valid form of spreading veganism, It is. Hey, G-Light, happy to contribute to our pizza fund.
To your pizza fund, and you're doing a great job with promoting veganism.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much there, G-Light. I'm not sure if we're going to get our pizza tonight or not, but if we don't get it tonight, could be tomorrow night, so we'll see. Like I said, this is going to be a shorter-ish stream, and we'll see if we get pizza tonight. So just kind of chill, kind of tired, maybe just make something easy around here. Uncle Walt, what's a great cheese sauce? I wish I had Angie in on that one. I can't think of a good cheese sauce off of my top of my head. I'm not sure. We don't usually, in the past, even before being vegan, use cheese sauces. So, I'm not sure what the vegans ones are. If you guys know of any, let Uncle Walt know there. Let's see, Molly. I like this. The lady in your old workplace who always asked if the birthday cake was vegan. An example of subliminal vegan activism. Yeah, who's to say that's not valid? Just to let people in the workplace know, especially ones who are responsible for buying the birthday cakes, like, maybe we should get one that doesn't have the dairy and junk in it, so these other people won't feel left out. So that's little things like that are ways you can do vegan activism that don't involve like going on social media like what I do, or going out into the street and debating people in a protests or something like that, demonstration. You saw a good video by Mike the Vegan about salt intake. Mike's videos are quality. It's kind of like Mike and I, you guys can maybe disagree with this. I mean, you should feel free to. I kind of see what Mike and I are doing as similar kinds of things. I kind of come from, we discuss, misinformation in the news, and we try to get to the bottom of like issues like, is salt good? Is rice dangerous? Stuff like that. I kind of come from it from slightly more philosophical perspective, and he comes from it from a more scientific perspective. But that's just subtle, because I use science all the time, as you guys know too. So, but yeah, we're kind of two sides of almost the same side of the same coin, sort of. Anyway. Oh man, Vegan Onstruck. Sorry to hear about the passing of your dog there. Well, it's still a tragedy to lose your own pet there, for sure. Sorry to hear that. Hey Tracy, thanks for joining, Tracy. I told you, Tracy, Angie and I were considering maybe doing a pizza mukbang tonight on this Friday live stream, but we're just way too tired to do that tonight. I just, I don't think it would present us in the best light. People go, hey, how come those old vegans are so tired? It's because of their vegan diets. No, because I was out in the basketball. I was out in the sun for an hour today from about 11:30 to 12:30. Playing basketball in the park, jumping and working all sorts of dribbling skill moves. I'm pretty beat. My legs are not used to all these movements from what I do here in the backyard in the garage. I am beaten. The sun got me. So yeah, today's live stream is going to be on the down low, like what we're doing here tonight. It's going to be chill. He said, Angie's cheese sauce is super to make and it's awesome. Oh, I forgot she had it. Yeah, you can make cheese sauces out of nuts. I didn't even think about that because Uncle Walt was asking. Oh, I hear another super chat tip. You guys are so freaking awesome, man. Thank you so much. Jimmy D, thank you. Thank you so much for your contributions and support, guys. Yeah, really, really, helps us out a lot, We're not a big YouTube channel. We're not big influencers or anything like that. So we just kind of scrape by. So thank you so much. Oh, Angie's Flashback Friday pick on Instagram. Yeah, I saw her on the couch. But we were having some food before I came in here. She said, oh man, I haven't posted to Instagram yet today. So I guess that's what she posted, a Flashback Friday. So cool, I'll have to check that out. If you're not following, make sure you follow Angie/us, Happy Healthy Vegan, on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, it's Happy Healthy Vegan, all one word. Even though it's called Happy Healthy Vegan, that's Angie's social media, daily interaction with you guys. So follow there. So yeah, please do. And while you're at it, click the like button while you're here right now. Let's see what else you guys asking here. We have a non-vegan here. Let me find Marty. Let's see. All the vegan cheese you buy has 0 protein. Yeah, I can see why someone was saying that too. Are you not vegan? Because all plants have protein. But maybe there's one. I forgot what it was. But I mean, as far as having all essential amino acids, but no, all plants have protein, and some plants have a boat ton of protein. So if you're talking about like nuts and seeds, those have more proteins than like fruits do typically. So yeah, it'd be really hard to get like a nut-based vegan cheese and have 0 protein. So that's kind of not right. In fact, let's go look at some right now. What's a good cheese we can look at right now to show that there's protein in cheese? Like I'll go show one right now for Matt if you guys want to take a look. We'll go look on the web together. BBB. I kind of gave my synopsis of the H word. I mean, maybe I didn't stick around for that whole debate, but the bottom line is, yeah, I can agree to it in concept that when you take the H word as what it means, like a dictionary definition, and apply that to what's happened to animals. Yeah, I can agree with that conceptually. I'm not going to disagree or deny it. That's truth statement. However, we don't have to, as vegan advocates or activists, don't have to use that word in our activism. Like I said, plenty of valid vegans like Mike the Vegan, I believe, doesn't use that word. Dr. Garth Davis doesn't do that. I believe Vegan Zombie doesn't. Friends of mine like Brian Turner, Bananiac, those annoying vegans, I don't believe they use that either. So we all have the choice of which verbs or verbiage we want to use. But I believe that no one should be forced to say anything. I don't want to go see Dr. Garth, use words that would, like that, which could potentially trigger people when it's not necessary. That's my whole, that's my stance on that. And yeah, I think at the end, it was clear at the end. Vegan Gains said, yeah, okay, I can understand that. So anyway, let's see, what's a good cheese? Miyoko's. I'll go look at Miyoko's cheese right now. Let's go look at Miyoko's cheese. All right, so, let me search for Miyoko's. I think I spelled it right here. Yeah, all right. So, I got another super chat tip. You guys are so awesome. For our pizza mukbang, thanks so much. Who was that? Vicky. Thank you, Vicky. Wait, Vicky Divot and Matt Divot. Wait, am I not noticing that you guys have the same last name? Let me know there. Okay, okay, I don't know what's better, pepper jack or mozzarella. Let's take a look here. All right, so I'll just pick the first one on here. Just at random, so I'm not like, people say he's cherry picking right here. So let's go look at the nutrition facts of the first vegan cheese I pull up here. Oh, look at, who was it earlier, that person? Marty, was it? Here, he said all the vegan cheeses he's seen have 0 protein. Right here. 3, where my mouse is, right here. Can you see right here? 3 grams of protein. And put that in comparison, there's 4 grams of fat, 3.5 grams of, I'm sorry, 3.5 grams saturated fat. So that's pretty high in saturated fat. You know, most of the fat in there is saturated. But my whole point is that that seems pretty evenly balanced. The ratio here is 5:4:3, you know, of carbs, fat to protein. That seems pretty spot on. So not sure what these protein lacking cheeses were that I think Marty claimed all he could find. I mean, all I can find are ones that have protein. Like I said, it's going to be really hard pressed to find a vegan cheese that has no protein because all plants have protein. So there you go. Yeah, nuts have protein, seeds have protein, all plants have protein. And there's no cruelty. Yes, Jordan. Thank you. And JL. Thank you, JL. Did you let's see. JL just donated 5 too as well. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your support. I'm not sure we're gonna get a pizza tonight, but yeah, when Angie's feeling a little better, I'm feeling more uppity. Yeah, pizza mukbang I think would be really fun. Sunny Boots, what H word are you referring to without saying the H word? I'll just say the Holocaust. Holocaust is the H word. I have no problem saying that. I just don't feel like I need to say that when I'm trying to convince someone to go vegan. And I think that's the point. I really, there's like, you know, a post-game analysis. If I could go back and change a few of the things I said when we were debating, me and Richard, I would point out that my activism, again, different from his. I see him debating people. He wants to like bully them and show them they're wrong, and pretty much shame them. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just kind of speaking objectively, you know, like an alien looking down, watching, not putting any judgment. That's kind of what he does, more or less. And again, no negative judgment there. Totally fine and cool. When I'm talking to people, I'm usually I'm not trying to debate them in the sense I'm trying to like, you know, win and make them feel like they lost. My whole approach is to convince someone to go vegan. That's what I'm trying to do. That's my tactic, my strategy is to not put them on the defense so they'll have an open mind to what I have to say. So I won't throw out the H word. If anything, like I said, I'll say, yeah, do you realize that that around 80 billion animals are killed every year for slaughter? Something like that. I think that keeps their mind a little less like, you know, closed off from what I will say after that. But again, my kind of activism is to convince someone who is not vegan to go vegan. That's what I love doing. You know, I enjoy getting into discussions like that rather than like, you know, just having a debate and trying to trounce someone and make them feel bad or something like that. Thank you so much, Tatted Vegan Runner 13.1. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you again. And thanks again. Thanks so much for the super chat tip there. Much appreciated. Love you too. Yeah, G-Light, that's what I'm with you. Persuasion is better than force. Yeah, Richard, you know, he's a young, rough and tumble dude. He wants to get down and get dirty. You know, I'm a philosopher. I want to use my skills to persuade someone, convince someone of what I'm saying. Again, not by like putting them, you know, not trying to say offensive things to put them on the defense and kind of shut their minds down. I'm trying to really want people to go vegan. I guess should I make a video about this? Really kind of explain my activism, kind of the assumptions I bring to the table. Because I believe that most people, again, a majority, like a little over 50% of the people, not, you know, I think most people actually aren't against veganism. You know, most people aren't, you know, I think a lot of people, once they've been told the right information in the right way, they might not go vegan that very day, but you planted a seed and you kept them open. Then after they talk to me, then they'll see a movie like The Game Changers. Oh yeah, I was talking to that guy at the gym about plant-based or vegan diets, and here I see this movie and see, you know, Chris Paul is a producer, and you know, that's what I'm saying. That's my whole thing. That's my philosophy, is to give people the right information in the right way, the right context, to get them to go vegan. If I see they're an environmentalist, I'm not going to talk about The Game Changers. I'm not going to really talk too much about personal health. I'm going to talk about environmental issues. So it's about reading people, understanding where they're at, what their values are, and trying to give them the best information at that time in the best way that I know how, to show them how veganism is the best solution, the best choice that they can make. That is my MO. What do you think? Should I make a video about that? Yes or no? Let me know. Or is that just dumb and boring? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Travis, no, we're not going to go to Disneyland anytime soon. I mean, they canceled all the the Southern California resident passes. Those are no more the annual passes. So we'll just have to wait and see what's up. And plus, we're not vaccinated yet, too. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't sit around at home for a year just to, like, go out and, you know, like, you know, and possibly get infected in a, you know, in a big public setting like that when I'm just like, maybe just like weeks away from getting vaccinated. Anyway, I might, because actually Disney's supposed to open April 30th, so I might be vaccinated by then, but we'll see how it goes. Yes, Uwali Black, I did a video on this. Chris Paul didn't call himself vegan, he calls himself plant-based, but I researched to the best of my knowledge all the meals I could see he was eating. He wasn't adding cheese or having some fish on the side or something like that. It looked like everything he was eating was vegan. So he's not an ethical vegan. He's, you know, that's why I would call Chris Paul plant-based, even though he seemed to be eating a vegan diet. So that's what my conclusion on that. Hey, JL, thank you. Thank you so much for that super chat tip there, JL. Thanks so much. Was that a new one or not? Yeah, it was. Okay, because I saw the Ted and Vegan Runners come through again. Hey, Groovy Lisa, good to see you. Okay, you, Vic, and you are Vicky and Matt are married. I don't know why. How many times have I seen you guys, and it took me this long to connect the dots. You know, you know, someone could say I have vegan brain fog. I should have noticed that like way sooner and quicker than now. So thank you for putting that like in your black and white words there for me to see. All right, cool. Uncle Walt wants to know where's Angie's vegan cheese recipe on, Tracy? Is it on? I think it's in Keep It Carb Baby, right? The first book. Am I right, Tracy? Let me know if you're still here, Tracy. Yeah, I think Streamlabs is a little slow. It's been acting kind of weird lately. Like one of my last live streams, all these like old super chat messages came through, like ones from like days or weeks before. It was crazy. And I saw Hinch Herbivore commented. He saw my stream later on. He said, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's having that happen. So there's some weird stuff happening with Streamlabs. Let's see, Ted Stryker. I don't know who Hudson Tarlow is, telling people that they are hypocrites if they eat animals but are against animal abuse. Too harsh. See, this is the kind of thing where in concept, I'll come out and say I agree with that in principle. I agree that if you call yourself, what did it say? If you're against animal abuse, and also if you call yourself, you know, a hardcore environmentalist, but at the same time you're eating animals and not vegan, I can conceptualize that as a contradiction. I agree with that in principle. It's one of those things again, though. I'm not gonna, you know, when I'm trying to my advocacy, when I'm trying to convince someone to go vegan, I'm not going to call them a hypocrite or something like that, because they're again, as soon as you do the name calling, it puts someone on the defensive, and it makes them entrenched and less open, less receptive to what you're trying to get across to them. So it's one of those things where you can agree with something, but understand it probably isn't the most effective thing to say in the context of trying to get someone to go vegan. Sure, if you're having a fight, a debate, then that's cool, I guess. You know, that's a more of an appropriate context to call it the hypocrisy. As I do all the time on my response videos, I call it hypocrisy. But the thing is, you know, I say Piers Morgan's a hypocrite or something like that. I'm not trying to convince Piers Morgan to go vegan. I'm just showing what a windbag he is. So it's all about context. Atomic Vegan. And I remember you have another name too. Which is your other account, Atomic Vegan? So thank you for our mukbang fund. I'll tell Angie.
Mukbang fund.
I'm going to tell Angie right now. I'm going to text her and let her know that you guys are so cool. I'll say they are tipping us. Tipping us for our mukbang fund. So she'll be stoked to know you guys are being so cool. So I just let her know AJ Vintage is Atomic Vegan. Okay, I'll have to try to remember that. You have to forgive me. I'm probably going to forget that like really soon, but I'm going to try my best. So I just let Angie know how cool you guys are, giving us some money for the pizza mukbang fund. You know, so yeah, you guys are pre-paid it for us. Angie said, "Ha ha ha!" So she likes that. Thanks, G-Li. Appreciate the good energy for sure. Plants, what happened with Vegan Gains? I don't know what this is about. What do you mean, Plants? What happened? Just ask a little more specifically and I'll try my best to answer that. It's funny, I have challenged people to basketball before, you know, especially when they say, oh, look at Ryan, he's totally weak and all his muscles have deteriorated and no athleticism. I'll say, cool, let's play some basketball then. I'll show you what it's like to get humiliated by a 50-something-year-old weak vegan, you know? So anyway, and she says, aha, they're sweet. I didn't see the second part of her text there. So she says, you guys are sweet. So it's touching her. That's cool. You know, we're both kind of just super chill today. Maybe even on the blue side a little bit. So, you know, so thank you guys. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, G-Light. Yeah, there was a debate concerning the actual language in the promotion of veganism. I think, again, I wish I could have made the distinction. Like, the language I use is selected for the, as you put there, the promotion of veganism. And I think a lot of times what Richard is doing, again, I'm not saying this in a judgmental way. I'm trying to do this in an objective fact describing way. A lot of times what he's doing is not what I'm doing. I'm trying to convince someone to go vegan. Often what Richard is doing is debating someone, trying to, like, you know, whip them, you know, with logic or facts or whatever. He's trying to whip them. And so I think the kind of language you would use when you're trying to convince someone to go vegan and keep their mind open to veganism, you don't want to insult them or humiliate them. That's a different tactic, a different context than trying to win an argument or debate or something like that. So I wish I had thought of that. I wish I knew where he was going with this ahead of time, so I would have had my arguments a little bit more ready to go. I wasn't sure where he was going with this. I guess I could have asked him, so it's on me. Let's see. They missed a few of your comments there. It would be cool to... Well, Richard doesn't play basketball, you know? So, I mean, why would we challenge each other? It would just be a game, right? I mean, the only time I've challenged people to sports is when they're being complete jerks about vegans, you know? Like, you know, I'm not going to mention... I'll mention Dr. Paul Saladino, the carnivore MD. He challenged Dr. McDougall, which is like... He's like 70-something, like 30, 40 years older than Dr. Saladino. He challenged Dr. McDougall, an old man who's not known for being athletic, to a Spartan challenge race. I go, this is stupid, you know? How about me? Come on, come after me, Saladino. I'm older than you. He's 45, I'm 53, something like that. I'll challenge him to a basketball game since he thinks vegans are all weak and stuff like that. And let's do it. He'd be playing someone older, he's just not quite as old. I'll take him on. So I'll take on someone like Saladino, but, you know, no reason to challenge Richard. There's nothing to prove there. You know, like, say who wins, that'll decide if you can use the H word or not. It'd just be a pointless challenge there. Challenge VG to a lifting competition. Yeah, it's a thing. He'll win that one because he's Vegan Gains. He's been lifting ever since we discovered him back in like 2014. So at least 6-7 years. I started really getting serious about lifting late October of last year, you know? So, yes, don't have quite the time to, you know, compete on those grounds there. Yeah, JL, I agree. We didn't have, strangely, none of our moderators made it on that night. Yeah, Tracy, who I was chatting with earlier today, had some business to take care of. I thought for sure Race Lover would appear. I thought Wujita would appear. Never saw them. I think Race came afterwards. And I remember I was chatting with Peter Cunnington, you know, from our you know, one of our viewers here all the time. He's not here tonight, strangely. I was chatting with him earlier on Discord, and I said, yeah, if none of my moderators show up, just in case, what if I make you a moderator for the evening? He said, yes, totally cool. And I forgot all about that. So again, it's on me. I guess I was so focused on the debate and all the technical issues running this by myself. I forgot about that. So it's my bad. I had a backup plan and I totally effed up, you know, on me. Yeah, Uncle Walt's here, but yeah, Uncle Walt, I told him I just made Uncle Walt a moderator, I guess for two reasons, I guess. One is so I know that it's the real Uncle Walt, because as some of you might remember, there was a fake Uncle Walt a few months ago. You know, he tried to make his account look like Uncle Walt's. So we have to sort out who's the real Uncle Walt. So I made him a moderator for that reason. Oh, I missed a super chat? Okay, sure, thanks. And secondly, I think it just looks cool that I have at least another moderator in there. Let's see. Let me see where this is. Thanks, Tracy. Let's see. Oh, Joe, there it is. I didn't see that one come through. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, Joe Borg91. You and Angie are a much better influence than Vegan Gains Go Vegans. Well, again, it depends on context. Like I said, every vegan has their own way of being the best vegan activist they can, and if he's going to be debating people and being hardcore and insulting, you know, that works in that context. But if you're, and again, I'm not saying that in a negative way. If you're watching Richard, I'm not saying that with any judgment. I'm trying to be objective in that description there. And if the context is, not to say he couldn't do this too, but if the context is trying to actually convince someone to really give veganism a shot, you don't want to be insulting. You don't want to get them on the defensive. So thank you. I kind of do more of that work. I just really started, being able to get people on for debates like 3 weeks ago when I got John Kohler on, and Richard's been debating people for years, that's more of his wheelhouse. I'm not going to tell you what comment I'm laughing at there. Okay. Okay, next debate. What is there to debate about? Is there another topic you'd like to see a debate about? Let me know, okay? Yeah, I could have showed studies too that show, you're right there, plants, that, studies that show when you put people on the, when you say something insulting or offensive to people in a context of trying to convince them or persuade them to do something or debate, as soon as you do that, it puts them on the defensive. And the word, you could just look at this up, people become more entrenched in their position once that happens, meaning they're not, even if you say the most awesome thing, fact-filled, perfect thing, it's just going to go right past them because you put them on the defensive and they become more entrenched. So I understand these things. Maybe it's harder for some people to read that or not. Maybe they just don't care. I'm just speculating. I'm just saying, for me, my goal is to get people to go vegan. Flat and simple. That's my objective with my activism, is to get someone to go vegan. And if not go vegan that very moment, to plant some good seeds so that veganism will be a viable option for them in the future. Because if you insult someone when you're trying to convince them to go vegan, they won't do it. And they'll remember that for years. Yeah, I remember I had that discussion with that weird vegan guy, Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. He insulted me. I'm never gonna go vegan because they're all jerks. You don't want them to walk away with that opinion. That's the last thing I want them to do. Thoughts on the carnivore diet? What do you think? Straight veg. Yes, hey, straight veg, huh? Yes, I love this shirt quite a lot too, Jared. Yeah, thank you, straight veg, in the chat there. Yeah, I got this shirt from Jared way back, at Long Beach Veg Fest, many years back, 2015, 16, something like that. I'm still wearing it. It's a quality shirt, It's held up quite fine over time. And yeah, I love the simple message on there, I like its subtlety and its powerfulness. You're not calling someone out necessarily, but you're pointing out, hey, my food doesn't scream. And if someone doesn't get it, what could this person mean? Oh, maybe they're eating plants. They do have a point, huh? So I like it. Yeah, Ted Striker. Yeah, that one should get some heads turned as well. Oh, thanks, Tatted Vegan Runner. Thanks for joining us as long as you could here. And I'm trying to do these on Friday evenings on a regular basis. I almost didn't tonight. So but I did because I wanted to keep this Friday thing going on. Yeah. Straight Veg left his text there. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I should have plugged that. You made the shirt. I wasn't aware. I should have asked. Are you still making the shirt? So it sounds like Straight Veg is. So yeah, text him or DM him on let's see, where was it again? On Instagram. He has it right there. So look, it's Ocean Raymond. So yeah, DM him there. Hey, Johnny Bravo, you didn't get a notification. That's weird. I got one tonight. Usually you're getting them right off the bat. Let's see, vegan metalhead. That sounds crazy. I pay money to see an army of people with laser pointers at a free roaming cat shelter with 1,000 cats. That sounds interesting. I would watch it if someone filmed it. I would definitely watch that and see if it's cool or not, as long as it ain't cruel or anything like that. But no, if you're playing with the cat's nature, cats want to be entertained. They want to be played. They want to be stimulated. And that's something I've learned too. I think my cats are kind of bored. I've been trying to every day take a few minutes more out of my day and play with them. Get some kind of stick or toy and play with them because they love that stuff, you know? Yeah, Acidity. I read that book several years back. I don't remember too much from it, but I remember it was an entertaining read by a very colorful character. Yeah, for sure. Cool, Walt, Uncle Walt. I'm glad you like the regular Fridays thing. I promised Angie, yeah, since we're kind of chill, kind of tired, won't keep this going super long. And since I don't have a race lever here tonight to pressure me to lobby for like a real vegan stream for 3 hours kind of thing, it'll probably be on the shorter side here. Gaming with Gaja. Any tips on how to get calcium as a vegan? Yeah, just eat plants. I mean, let's just go look here. I mean, there's tons. That's not a problem. We'll go look here for like best plants for calcium. For calcium. Let's see. I mean, I've done many videos on this here. Green leafy vegetables and legumes. I mean, hardly a day goes by where I don't have some kind of bean or legume. Greens and beans for sure. Yeah, a lot of veggies like broccoli. We just got some Brussels sprouts and collards and kale. We got all those today from the market. Mustard greens, Swiss chard, and let's see. Let's see. Let's have a look on Healthline here. Let's scroll through. Yeah, soy foods. Yeah, legumes as I was talking about here. Certain nuts such as Brazil nuts are super high, but yeah. Let's see, nuts and seeds. And certain grains here, like ones I don't eat a lot of, like amaranth and teff, seaweed. Leafy greens. So yeah, it's not too hard. Most of these foods aren't that bizarre or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, you can always take a supplement if you find that you're clinically low, like through a blood test or something like that. But yeah, I like Brussels sprouts too. I eat them all the time. Maybe I'll have some tonight. And there's some advice there from Thinking Out Loud. So cool. Let's see, Antonio, fat and salt. What about fat and salt there? I just see you stating it. What are you asking about there? Do I soak our lentils before we cook them? Like we, with all our legumes, like we rarely buy dried legumes because it involves soaking them. So yeah, usually we just get like chickpeas and out of a can and drain the water away and go from there. Hey, Vegan Vio, thank you so much for the super chat tip there. Really appreciate your channel. I will say, though, here in animal agriculture, being compared to the Holocaust did drive me to become an ethical vegan. Cool, like that's awesome, Vegan VO, because like I said, everyone's different. That's what I was trying to explain to Richard. For some people, when they hear that message, something clicks and goes, yeah, I understand the analogy, I understand the truth behind that statement, and it makes them go vegan. Right. Others, will say, okay, that sounds like some crazy vegan talking. I don't want to listen to them anymore because of whatever reasons. They find that kind of speech just off-putting. Everyone is different. So yeah, you need some people being, saying that, others don't. There's no one right answer. It depends on each person. Like I said, I try to do like a cold read on a person and try to match the message to their what I perceive to be, the best way to reach them. Are they coming from things like a health perspective, environmental perspective? Are they concerned about ethical issues like this, athletic issues? Because I could talk all day about any of those 4 topics right there, about how veganism is the best answer for any of those 4. I used to call it the triple win. I'm going to call it the quadruple win now, for the animals, for the planet, for our health, and for athletics. Hey, Joseph Michael, what is up? Antonio, some vegans don't use oil or salt. I'm confused. Suggestions. So let me tell you this, Antonio. Good question. Now I see what you're asking. There is nothing inherent about veganism that says you cannot use oil or salt. Nothing. There's nothing about that. That said, I mean, there's some vegans who don't like oil and salt, just like there's non-vegans who don't like oil and salt. Just like, for example, myself, I don't like onions or garlic. That has nothing to do with about me being vegan. I just don't prefer them in my foods, particularly garlic. I had some a couple days ago. There was in some, what was it? God, something from our freezer. I forgot now, but Angie said, man, you reeked like garlic the rest of the night. I go, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. That's what happens. So my point is, yeah, everyone has their individual preferences. I personally don't like really oily foods, but I know vegans that do, and they're fine. I don't call them out. I don't make videos. Hey, look at vegan X, Y, and Z. They're putting oil in their food and they're doing it wrong. No, it's a personal preference. I find it personally kind of it just seems so heavy and weighing, and I just don't feel like I'm operating that well when I'm eating a lot of oil in my diet. Case in point, like say when I'm traveling, when I'm not at home, because at home I can control how much oil is in the food. When I'm away on a trip or at a vegan festival eating all these weird vegan vendors' foods all day, which are delicious, by the way. The next day I feel like crap. It's like, oh my God, my body is not feeling it like it normally does. So it's all personal preference. So yeah, there are some vegans that don't do oil and salt, others that do. Don't worry about that. Yeah, Jordan, you can have all the garlic. We never told anyone not to ever eat onions and garlic. In fact, Tracy, our moderator here, Tracy Alexander, has put some. Didn't you, Tracy, add some suggestions for some garlic in a couple of the recipes? I thought maybe I forgot, but there's we're not banning them. We're not saying don't eat them or something like that. No, it's just personal preference. Just like someone might like Ben and Jerry's better than Nadamu. Personal preference. Ben and Jerry's dairy free. I'm talking about, obviously. Okay, Tracy, yes, there are even options for onions and garlic in the new book. Yeah, I thought you put some of those options in there. Let's see, straight veg. You had fat tomato last night and grain tonight. What is fat tomato? Feeling really slow right now. What is fat tomato, straight veg? Is that like a place, or is that like a certain prepping of a tomato? I never heard of that. Alex Dimes, I noticed you. I do notice you. Do you have a question? Oh, pizza place on Broadway. I think I know what you're talking about. Is it kind of like that one on near Broadway in Redondo, sort of? That's in my hood. Yeah, I've never been there. I always get Fourth Horseman pizza. It's just so freaking good, But I know what you're saying, yeah. But that's cool. Like what I like about the Fourth Horseman pizza is that I don't get that feeling of super oily fullness, drowsiness afterwards, because they don't put a ton of oil. I'm sure there's some oil, but it's not like an overabundance of oil that I, don't respond all that well to. So yeah, try to go there next time. Straight veg, Jared. Yeah, that's my tip. Yeah, no Fourth Horseman, but it was decent. Cool. Christian Robertson, no vegan pizza here unless I make it. I feel sorry for you, Kristen. My heart goes out to you. But I know what it's like, because it was only like 3 years ago, basically, that Fourth Horseman opened up here. Before then, there was no regular, vegan pizza place we could count on. Even though they're not a strictly vegan restaurant, but they make awesome. They know what they're doing. They must have some vegan chef experience there, because it's not an accident how good that pizza is. Were we talking? Someone said something about soy and estrogen. Jackie, why do you want me to say Holocaust for? Is there any reason why? Yeah, that's a good point, Jonathan. Eat all the junk food you want. If you want to eat junk food vegan, you get my blessings. Sometimes I'll have a pretty junk food vegan kind of day. Pretty rare, but it does happen. But, yeah. Want to know if it was BBB, if it was good or bad for veganism that Piers got fired, because Piers used to bring up veganism. I mean, Joey can go on other shows. He's been on other shows too in Britain that did involve Piers Morgan. So I think at least right now, the way I read the situation, and I could be wrong, I think it's good, because Piers just put out just a stream of misinformation. Yeah, sure, some companies got promotions out of it, like Greg's Vegan Sausages, but for the most part, like, he has a huge audience that's not that clever. So if Piers says vegans are weak, I imagine 90% of his audience will believe vegans are weak. If Piers says, vegan food's horrible tasting and makes you want to vomit, or causes you to vomit the instant you have one tiny bite, I'm sure a lot of the viewers watching believe that. So he's putting just horrible ideas in their head. So I think it's a good thing he's gone. What do you guys think? Yeah, Whole Foods pizza, not bad. Yeah, I haven't had it for a while, but I remember getting it before, and they have different ones. Yeah, I just don't like the ones that are like all vegan cheese. I like the ones that have more veggies on it. But yeah, it depends, hit and miss. Usually pretty salty too. Jordan, yeah, Piers might find some other platform to spread his nonsense, but maybe he'll be so preoccupied with other issues that he'll forget his whole anti-vegan nonsense. Hopefully, keep our fingers crossed on that one. Let's see, Uncle Walt, did you say you're familiar with Dr. Michael Greger and his... Oh, yeah, nutritionfacts.org. Yeah, I often refer to him in my videos. I haven't done it for a while, but often I'll just, like, if I'm exploring a topic, I'll go see what Dr. Greger has said about that and find the relevant, pertinent information and include that clip in my videos. Yeah, in fact, I went through he made like 10 or 12 videos about arsenic and rice. Really hard for a regular person to, like, keep all the information together over like these mini videos, like probably totaling up over an hour's worth of time. So I made a summary of the what I thought was the most essential information. Is the arsenic in rice dangerous or not? What should you be concerned about? So yeah, I'm quite familiar with Dr. Greger. Never met him before though. Good one, Straight Veg. I agree. I don't know if I would say that to someone I'm trying to convince to go vegan, but yeah, in a debate or something like that, that's a good point to bring up for sure. Just I tell you guys, it's all about context. There's no one right way to deliver a vegan message. It depends on the context. What is your objective? Is your objective to honestly make someone go vegan? Not make them, but give them that's what I say. It's give them the right information in the right way so that they either go vegan or are not opposed to going vegan, but you've planted the seeds. Or do you just want to like make someone feel bad and beat them in a debate or something like that? It's all context. I'm not saying either is better, but if sometimes you want to convince someone to go vegan, right? And you're probably going to get better results by not insulting them. And sometimes you want to insult someone because they're a jerk and say insulting things. I say insulting things too, but not when I'm trying to convince someone to go vegan. I want to make that distinction. I do say insulting things, but not when I'll insult Piers Morgan, Joe Rogan, but I'm not trying to convince them to go vegan. Hexproof. Never heard of that person. As emboldened. Cool. You've shown my Dr. Gregor's rice video condensation video I made about, condensing all those videos down. Cool. Yeah, I felt like it was kind of confusing how he did it. I'm not sure why he put out so many videos, So I tried to make the one video that distilled down the most important information. Like, what do you, like, if you really want to know, is arsenic and rice dangerous? Watch my video. And if you want to get more detailed, in-depth information, watch the entirety of his series. Jackie, oh, that's why you came here. You came here to troll me. Here's what Jackie's saying. Animal agriculture is a holocaust. It's the truth. You need to get the truth out. Yeah, I told you. I've said it here. I agree with that in concept. The truth of that statement, I do not deny. However, if I'm trying to convince someone to go vegan, like say I'm at the gym because they see me wearing my vegan basketball jerseys, and some guy said, hey, I saw the Game Changers last night. Hey, tell me more about veganism. What do you think I should say in return? Do you think I should start talking about animal holocausts? No, I should be talking about health information, about how plant-based diets are great for athletic performance. That's the right message to give that person at that time. If I start immediately going off on some animal holocaust discussion, which is good in some context, but that's the completely wrong context. So that's what I'm trying to tell people who think there's only one way to be a vegan activist. Depends what your goal is. In this context that I'm describing, my objective is to convince someone to go vegan, at least plant the seeds so that they're open-minded. But if I start off by insulting them, they're going to say, F you, and never talk to me again. But, so it depends on the context. I hope you have the sophistication intellectually to understand what I'm talking about. If I'm in a debate with someone and they're throwing out insults at me, then I could throw out something like what you just proposed there, about the Holocaust, and it might work in that, it might be appropriate, or at least, they're not going to ever go vegan. If someone's like an entrenched anti-vegan, like a carnivore person, there's no hope. Then you could throw out an insulting term, puts them on the defensive, and it doesn't matter. So I hope you understand that there's not one right message to give every person in every situation. If you believe that, you're just wrong. Oh, Angie says, are they hoping we'll mukbang tonight? I'll tell her, let me text her from here. Let's see. I'll tell her, no, not tonight. No. I think she might have gotten nervous there. No, we're not going to mukbang tonight. It's too late. I would have to go drive to get the pizza, in the future. The future. I saw someone talk about Clean Machine. Wait, what's the question about Clean Machine? I'll talk about Clean Machine. I just was chatting with Jeff Palmer of Clean Machine earlier today on Facebook. Maybe Jonathan, who knows, huh? No, we're not going to get the pizza tonight, July. Yeah. We're not going to get the pizza tonight, but yeah, there's a lot of you guys, without me even asking, contributed to the next pizza fund for a mukbang, because we were thinking about possibly doing one tonight, like getting the pizza before the live stream, bringing it here, from Fourth Horseman, and then eating it with you guys. But we're just as thrashed today from being out in the sun and me jumping on the basketball court for an hour, jumping around on it. Oliver Moore, great point there. If you're in what I usually do, my activism is usually to try to convince someone to go vegan. So let me read what Oliver Moore said here. When you say Holocaust, it gives the non-vegan an excuse to dismiss you and your points. Doesn't mean all non-vegans will dismiss you and your points, but a pretty large percentage will. And I'm thinking about maybe doing some kind of a survey research on this, because I don't know if you guys knew, before I became a philosophy major, I almost got a minor in experimental psychology, which sounds like something crazy. It just means I was involved more in the research aspect rather than the psychological processes and or disorders. So anyway, I'm thinking about pulling those skills back up and doing a survey research where I ask people certain phraseologies and see how their reaction is afterwards about, are they more open-minded or closed-minded to being learning more about veganism after that. What do you guys think about that? I want to test out the phraseologies of certain ways things can be expressed as a vegan activist and see how people's responses are. Because I have a hypothesis, obviously, of how people might respond, and we'll test it out. That's really what it's all about, right? Doing a little bit of science. I just need someone to help me with the statistical analysis. I'm going to keep the data set really, really simple. I'm not going to go and it's going to be simple. If anyone out here have experience in that on testing for statistical significance, probably just use like a 5% confidence interval, something like that. Let me know if anyone's good at that, because when I did this in 1990 or something like that, I wasn't using computers. I don't remember how I did it. So if anyone's still good at that, maybe I could ask Mike the Vegan or Dr. Avi or something. It's going to be a real simple data set, but let me know if any of you guys have experience with that and just could crush a real simple data set once I collect the data. Let me know. Anyone have that skill? An Excel chart. No, I don't need Excel chart. I need to test for statistical significance. Like I said, maybe a 5% confidence interval, 1% if it's that strong of a connection. So let me know. Let's see. No, I'm not seeing anyone that has. I didn't think so. I have a few people in mind that I can ask. I know Mike the Vegan is going for a master's of public health right now, so I imagine he might be able to crunch a real simple or even a more complicated data set, but I figure Mike might be able to do that without taking too much time away from him. I think, with the kind of data set I'm going to produce, it's probably, if you know what you're doing, you could probably just punch it in some software and get an answer within a couple seconds. Yeah, VLAM. I was a psych major, became a psych minor almost. But yeah, for you it was 10 years ago. For me, that was like 1990 or something. No, 1988 or 9. It was like that. It was a long time ago. So I don't remember how to do that. I guess I could Google it. And since my data set will be so basic and simple, I might be able to do it myself. I just need to, do a little research here and see what's involved. G-Light, yeah, you think I need a strong math person? Hopefully not too strong of a math person, because like I said, I'm going to keep it really simple. It's just going to be like, maybe to keep it really simple, I just could have 2 questions asking pretty much the same thing, but with different verbiology. So we just see which one gets a better response, or at least a less negative reaction. So just be really simple. I came up with this concept last night. I kind of like woke up in the middle of the night. It all just kind of hit me like, gee, why do I put my survey research skills to use and just do a simple study? I just need someone to help me with the statistical part. But yeah, the whole thing, an introduction, a methods section, the results section, and a discussion section. I could even print it up and share it with the world if I want to. But I would probably just present it in a video, because writing it up is going to take a few more days. Yeah, that stuff, standard deviation, all that stuff, Uncle Walt. Yeah, I want to test this too. And again, I'll show my methods. If anyone wants to retest, that's a cool thing about science. If someone doesn't like my result, I'll show you the exact methods I used, and feel free to test it on your own. Science needs to be repeatable if something's to be taken or to be true or accepted as valid and real. So yeah, once I do this, I want others to replicate the study. In fact, I'm going to offer, like in a real research paper in the discussion section, you offer how future research could be done to test what you did here and improve upon it. So I'll give ideas on how what I did could maybe lay the groundwork for someone else to run a more complicated study than what I have proposed here. No, I haven't even proposed anything, but what I see, I know exactly what I want to do. So I just need to percentile, Uncle Walt. I tell you, I just want to test to I'm not talking about standard deviations necessarily, but I want to test to maybe a 5% confidence interval, or 1%, something like that. Uncle Walt, yeah, start a survey. I think what I'm going to do, actually, here's my methods section. If you guys have any other ideas, I was going to it's so informal. I just want to get I want to find non-vegans who will answer this 2 questions. It'll take them less than a minute. So I was thinking about just hitting up my non-vegan friends on Facebook. I won't tell them exactly what it is, because you don't want to, poison the well. You don't want to let them know what you're measuring, or else you could bias what how they will respond. So I'll just say, hey, I already kind of have the message figured out. Hey, non-vegan friends, can you guys help me out, please, with something? I want to do a short survey, ask you a short survey. It'll take you less than a minute. The results will be completely confidential. If you're interested, hit like in the post or leave a comment. I will message you on Messenger and send you the questions. That's what I'm thinking, something like that. If I can get like 20, 30 people to respond, I think that would be enough to get a start crunching numbers afterwards. Yeah, it should be great if I can get a few hundred people too. So if anyone actually has any tips for me, because maybe my method there is a little too primitive. If any of you guys have any ideas on where I could get real non-trolly people, and I'm saying, at least if I do it on Facebook, I know they're real people. They're just not answering it for the hell of it or anything like that. You know, they're just doing it. I know they're legit people. So anyway, if you guys have any ideas where I could get some more folks for my questions. Let's see, where's Tracy? Will is a stats teacher and can do my data analysis. I didn't see that. Thanks, Tracy. All right, cool. I'll take you up on that. Yeah, and tell them it'll be a real simple data set. Really simple. It's not going to require sophisticated analysis. Just going to have people answering 2 questions, and we're going to see which of the questions gets a more positive reaction and which one gets a more negative reaction with regards to do they believe after reading this, or if a vegan activist were to say this, would their minds be more inclined to learn more about veganism or not? That's simple. It's going to be a yes or no, a binary yes or no for either question. Cool. I'll keep that in mind, Tracy. So yeah, maybe I won't have to bug Mike the Vegan or something like that, or Dr. Avi. So cool, I'll keep that in mind, Tracy. Yeah, tell Will if he does it, I'll appreciate it, and hopefully it won't take that much time. So thank you. Thank you. So now I got to get off my ass and find my subjects and craft out my questions that I will ask them, my 2-question questionnaire, and get the data. And again, I'm not doing this to like say I'm right and you're wrong, and I'm not doing this to test whether one way is one way of phrasing things is superior in some kind of objective sense, like all vegans should ask it this way. I just want to understand how a non-vegan feels or reacts when hearing more of kind of a more neutral or fact-filled way of phrasing things, like the way I prefer, or kind of more emotionally charged, slightly potentially offensive way. I just want to know how a non-vegan reacts, and particularly how they react to being open to further messages from vegans in the future. That's all I want to know. And again, it's not to prove how anyone should do their activism. I just want to know, for me, my own curiosity, how it stands up under scientific scrutiny. Straight veg, yeah, we're kind of working on music all the time. Just we kind of lose momentum. Yeah, I started working on a new song a couple days ago. We have another one where Angie's like pretty much done with the vocals, but then at the end when I thought we're done, she came up with some new melodies. Like, oh man, we got to get those on the song. So we got a lot to do. Let's see, what did Will say, Tracy? I need to talk to Will about setting up the questions to keep the data as valid as possible. The sampling method is key. I'll talk to Will, let him know. I did almost have a minor in experimental psychology as an undergrad, and I actually have a paper that where I conducted a survey research study, like what I'm proposing to do now too. So I have some understanding on what he's talking about, but it would be cool if I could talk to him beforehand so I don't make any mistakes that I can't correct afterwards. But I think I got it down. Let's see. Hey, Richard, I should check out the debate you had with Steve Shaw. Might give you some insight on how non-vegans respond to vegans. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's just an anecdotal incident. What I'm proposing here is an actual, a scientifically structured way of measuring that. So that's what I'm proposing to do at some point. Sooner rather than later. I'm glad Tracy offered her husband's advice on making sure I have. What do you say there, Tracy? Make sure, I need to make sure I got it tight about setting up the questions to keep the data as valid as possible. I think I do, but yeah, I'd love to get his research if he is an expert at statistics, because that's the part I'm weakest at, the statistical analysis. But I understand how to the methods that are involved, what I'm going to be doing as a survey research, get the data analyzed, and then we'll have a discussion about it. Yeah, it should be a valid sample set. It really should be. The way I prepare, you understood what I don't know if Will's listening right now, but I'll say it one more time in case Will's listening. Just have I'll keep it really simple, and like I said, I'll in the discussion section of the paper, I'll propose how my study could be augmented to be even stronger, to get more data, to ask more questions. But I have 2 questions, basically saying the same semantic content, just getting the same idea across. Using the only difference will be the verbiage. One will have a more fact-based, neutral verbiage, another one less so. And the measurement will be, well, after hearing this statement, will you be in the future more receptive? Do you think you'll be more receptive or less receptive to more information from vegans? That's all I want to find out. It's simple as that. Again, I'm not trying to do this to say anyone's wrong or right. I'm just to satisfy my personal scientific curiosity, because this can be done. The data can be collected, it can be analyzed, and we'll see where it falls, just for curiosity. And again, I want to emphasize too, what I'm trying to do is satisfy my curiosity for context, because as I was saying earlier, I know Richard just joined here a second, I'll be still here, but the way I most interact with people as far as being a vegan activist or advocate is in the process of convincing them to go vegan. I try to find people and meet them where they're at and give them information that I think will either make them want to be vegan now, or if not, plant the seeds so that they'll be vegan in the future. Because I know one discussion usually doesn't make someone vegan, but you want to leave them walking away from that interaction with more of a positive feeling, where they don't all of a sudden start feeling threatened and start entrenching in their beliefs and not listening to what you're saying, and actually just turn you off because they don't take you seriously. So that's my goal in my activism, is try to get people to become vegan. There's times though when you're not trying to convince someone to go vegan. There's no persuasion. You're having a debate, you're having a verbal fight or something like that. You're dealing with a complete carnivore. There's no way to convert or persuade. So then, yeah, you can break out more verbiology. That's a different context. You don't have to be sensitive to their feelings, because they're not going to go vegan anyway. So again, I want to suggest or make it clear what I'm trying to measure is not the right way to be a vegan or anything like that. I just want to see if the kind of activism that I engaged myself in, mostly because I don't, like Richard's been debating people on his channel for years and years and years, and I just turned on debates a couple weeks ago with John Kohler, like 2-3 Fridays ago, so most of my advocacy is with people, making them understand that vegan diets are just a flat out win. So I try to figure out, are someone more interested in the health aspects? I'll argue the health aspects. If someone's more interested in if they're a hardcore environmentalist, and I'll say, well, are you vegan? If someone at the gym sees my vegan t-shirt and they see me kicking ass on the basketball court and they just saw the Game Changers, we'll have a talk about that. So my goal is to meet someone where they're at. And that's my strategy. It's a little conniving, I guess, trying to cold read someone, or maybe not cold read if they ask a flat out question about, hey, I just saw the Game Changers, and I'm 45. I'll say I'm 53, and I just dunked. So anyway. And that's perfectly valid, BBB. So Vegan Game wants to pummel the non-vegan and get submission victory. That's totally fine. In that context, that's appropriate. And my kind of advocacy is wrong in that I shouldn't say wrong. It's not effective. It's not the right tool to use. It's the wrong tool to use in that context. It's, so yeah, I'm not trying to argue for the supremacy in all contexts for any one kind of way. Let's see, Lester, thank you for the super chat tip there. Much appreciated. And yeah, I agree. Both methods, that's what I just said. Both methods of activism are valid. And okay, mine works with most contexts. I don't know if most, I kind of feel that way, but I agree it works best in some contexts. And in other contexts, yeah, pull them over the head, beat the hell out of them. I agree with you. As you say, as they say, you attract more bees with honey rather than vinegar. Because yeah, as I've talked about too. As in any scientific paper, and mine will be no different. I will list. It'll be a references section at the end showing studies that I've read through to help me to get to make the study design. And it's a known fact that as soon as you start, and when you're just having a discourse with someone, as soon as you insult them. Most people all of a sudden will not be receptive anymore. They will become entrenched into the beliefs. And you could give them the most perfect argument, the best, most valid information possible, and they won't listen to you anymore. So I think, I want to keep people's minds and hearts open to what I'm saying. When I'm doing my kind of thing, when I'm talking to someone at the gym, someone comes up to me and, asks me about Game Changers and what kind of food I eat. I'm not going to talk about ethical stuff right then. I'm going to talk to them about all the health benefits of vegan diets. That's the right thing to talk. I'm not going to talk about the environmental stuff much right then. I'm going to talk about the health stuff. So it's all about context. What's the right tool for the job at hand? I mean, what do you mean by bias? Did he say there's bias in any there's my study? I mean, no, studies have, here's the whole thing. Science is based upon having a hypothesis. I have a hypothesis that the results will go one way. I will do my best to make sure I construct the questions that I will give to the subjects in the most non-biased way. I don't want to have a corrupt data set. In fact, I'm going to show you everything I did, all the methods, so that it can be replicated. If someone finds fault in my constructing the questions in the questionnaire, someone could call me out on that, but I don't want that to happen, because I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to I want to be proven wrong. I'm curious. I'm not trying this. I don't want to conduct such a study to inflate my ego, to show people, look how right I am, because I'm never wrong. I'm not that kind of guy at all. I just want to test my hypothesis, and that's what science is all about. Having a hypothesis, like observing the world, and forming a hypothesis and wondering, hey, is my hypothesis right or not? You can debate it all you want. I'm not talking about me and Richard. I'm just saying you can wax philosophically all day, but the one way to really know if that hypothesis is right is to put it under scientific scrutiny. Some hypotheses cannot be tested, others can, and the one I have can be tested, but other things can't be tested, but this can be. And again, it can be, I'll offer suggestions how someone could actually, make the study even stronger, have a larger data set, include all sorts of different kinds of questions. And so you're saying, Richard, the bias isn't with the way the study is conducted. The bias is from the survey group. The flaw in the studies with the self-reporting. I mean, self-reporting is perfectly valid depending on what you're asking them to self-report. If you're asking people to self-report, so tell me, what food have you eaten? What foods have you eaten? Give me your food diary of the past 5-10 years. That's really, really difficult. But if you ask someone to self-report, here's the study I did in college. It was called The Effects of Music on Stress and Relaxation. And the independent variable that we manipulated was music style, the type of music we played to the subjects. And the questionnaire asked them a bunch of different questions, but we didn't care. A lot of the questions were irrelevant, so they wouldn't know what we were trying to measure. Like, how likely would you be to purchase this music? The true questions we were trying to measure were how their self-reports on stress, and I think it was relaxation. It was basically that. How did they feel, like nervous or relaxed, stressed or unstressed? And no surprise, the ones that were played, the hardcore heavy metal, had higher levels of anxiety and stress, and the ones that were played the new age music had lower levels. So I don't think there's any bias. I think people, if asked a question that they can honestly answer with ease, like, do you feel chill right now or do you feel not? I think those that's perfectly not biased. I mean, those are easy questions for any person to answer. But yeah, but some questions are much more difficult, and personal bias becomes more of an issue. But if you're asking someone how they feel right now, given a stimulus you just provided to them, I think that's really cut and dry. Yeah, straight edge. I wasn't saying that to diss hardcore or metal or anything like that. As the researchers in that study in college, we just wanted to manipulate that independent variable as hardcore as we could. We could have played two different kinds, like metal versus punk or something like that. No, we wanted to go extreme, some kind of new age stuff and some kind of really just headbanging stuff, hardcore, like, 190 BPM versus some really chill 40 BPM ambient music or something like that. We manipulated that variable to the nth degree, and we got the results. We found a statistically significant result between the responses. So anyway, not dissing on any music. We just wanted to get significance in those results there. But I wouldn't do that in this time. I'll try to phrase questions that were I'm not gonna try to skew it to prove my hypothesis. I honestly want to know what the answer is. So anyway, now I just got to do it. I came up with the idea last night, and now I just need to do it. And it's cool. It's a study I can do without really spending any money. I just need to find some subjects who are going to be honest in their answers and, willing to take about a minute out of their life to answer the questionnaire. So anyway, how long have I been on tonight, guys? I told you I was going to keep this a relatively short live stream tonight. Ooh, an hour and a half. Actually going pretty soon. I told you it's going to be a shorter live stream. You want to be a subject? No, I can't make vegan subjects. That's in my methods section. I will describe who the subjects are. They're going to, unless I change how I find subjects, I'm going to find it from people I know personally in Facebook who are not vegans. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because if I just found some site where I could just find random people, I really don't know if they're just lying or paid people from, like, I don't know. I really don't know what the motivations are. But if I can find people who actually know me and don't mind taking a minute out of their lives, and I could vouch that they're not vegan, but that's going to be a prerequisite. No vegans can be in this study because we want to see the reactions of non-vegans. So thanks for the offer there, Naran John, but yeah, that precludes you from being a subject. Ferris, what are you talking about? The natural food chain? What is the natural food chain, Ferris? Like, where do you live at? Do you live out in, like, the plains of jungle or savannah or something like that? The natural food chain is agriculture. Agriculture's grown. They feed it to people. They feed it to animals. You go to the market or stores, wherever, and you buy your food. I'm not sure what this food chain is. Food chains exist in the wild, but humans are not really in a food chain anymore. So I'm not sure what that question really even means. Can you clarify that? And I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying I've seen this argument before, and yeah, this may have been true a long time ago, but I mean, if you can drive to the supermarket, you're not in a food chain, just to put it in perspective for you. And Uncle Walt raises a good point. Humans have a choice. If you're an animal out in nature, and I don't have to drive too far to go out into nature. I have raccoons living in the yard, and cats are living in the yard, and squirrels, possums. It's a huge food chain out here. They have no choice. They eat what they can. They'll eat leftover food that we put out there. They'll hunt a rat on occasion. They do what they need to do to survive, but humans aren't like that for the most part. If you're watching right now, if you have access to YouTube and can see me speaking right now, you have access to the food supply chain of the world, and you don't have to go outside and hunt a mouse to survive or anything like that. Yeah, thanks, Straight Edge. I'm definitely not going to eat the raccoons. Thanks for reminding me, though. Okay, debate vegan gains on that vegan teacher's activism. Well, that would be a pretty inappropriate debate for me because I really don't know too much about her activism. Just a few things that you guys have told me, and I thought I saw someone did a response video to her. So I'm really not the most informed person. I'll say I'm pretty ignorant on her activism. So I would rather debate something I actually have a little bit more knowledge on. And then why do I need debate? I don't really like to utilize debate as a forum to like talk about other vegans. You know, if I'm going to debate someone, I'm going to debate them on a non-vegan or something. But why do I need to do that? So anyway, good question though. I don't think anyone really lived to be 256. I mean, that'd be awesome, but I don't know. Here's the thing about that vegan teacher. I saw, who was it there that said you find her a little creepy and weird? I mean, yeah, she had what? Let's just say 1 million followers on TikTok. Maybe it was 2 million. Just say 1 million. Let's say 3/4 of her followers and viewers thought she was completely creepy, weird, and nuts, and just watched her as like just to be amused, like. But but the flip side is, okay, if that's 3/4 of her viewers, I mean 1/4 are actually listening. So you have 250,000 people who are resonating with her message. So that's cool, you know. So so that's what I said. I'm not gonna I don't want to as a vegan try to proclaim one kind of activism better or worse. I will have argued that, like I do with Richard. I didn't actually get into it. I think in some contexts it might be better to try to persuade someone rather than beat them over the head or something like that. But I'm saying, yeah, everyone's got their own methods. If she has 250,000 people vegan because of her, that's awesome. That's a win. That's, again, I think we have to look at what the bigger goal is as vegan activists. At least what I perceive as the goal. You guys can comment down here if you think I'm way off or something. But for me, what I see as the goal as vegan activists, or at least me as a vegan activist, is to get more people to go vegan. And I guess we all have our different beliefs about what you need to do or what's best to do to achieve that goal. But I think at the end of the day, we all believe, I would hope so, we want people to go vegan. Why? Because if the more people that go vegan, the fewer animals will get bred into existence for slaughter. I mean, that's how you do it. That's how you get people, that's how you get to save animals' lives, by having more people not eating animal products. Good point, Straight Veg. If you make it to 256 years old, yeah, that will inspire a lot of people to go vegan. So let's hope we can try to do something like that, huh? Hey, Peter. Hey, I'm going to get going soon here, Peter. Yeah, I told Angie I was going to keep this one kind of short, and yeah, I've already been on about 1.5 hours now. We're just kind of tired. As I told the guys earlier, she went to the park with me. It's to go on a walk, but when I was at the park, I was playing basketball for 1 hour in the sun from like 11:30 to 12:30. Got some, hard UV rays, jumping around and doing all sorts of crazy dribbling and running, and I am beat. I might not look like, but that's why I entitled this live stream as I did, because I'm not feeling chipper. I guess I've just been working. I've been just training hard lately. I don't know why. But maybe I need to take a week off or something like that. Like not an off week, but a diminished workload week. Just kind of not feel so tired. I was kind of tired the other night when I debated Gaines as well. But anyway. It's at Tracy. You're telling Dreamhole fruit has all the fiber and what's that? And vitamins and minerals. You got it. Yeah, I mean, let's see, Peter. You're Peter. Thanks for the super chat tip there. Your new goal is not just to convince a few people to go vegan, but to shut down the system and change the way things are. Yeah, and I think the way we get there is to convince people to go vegan. That I honestly, I've thought about this a lot, and I can't conceive of a way to get things to happen unless there's more people on our side that see the see what we see as far as what's happening with animal agriculture, how it's cruel to the animals. A lot of people might not care. That's why we have to get more people who are environmentally minded to go vegan, because animal agriculture is the number one source of greenhouse gas emissions. We need people who are concerned about health to understand, veganism is a great decision for their personal health if they don't care about the environment, if they don't care about animals, because vegan diets have been shown to lower your risk of mortality for the leading causes of death. Athletes should go vegan, especially if they want to extend their playing time and careers. There's so many ways to get people to go vegan. The more people can go vegan, the more chance we have of actually accomplishing what you're talking about there, Peter. But to just proclaim a law, it's not going to happen. As ideal as that sounds cool, it's just not. I don't think in the real world, I don't see any path for that happening. We got to get more people vegan. That's to me, that's the bottom line. We got to get more people vegan. And it's not like we're trying to recruit them into an army. Like, that's what it sounds like. We got to get more people vegan. I'm saying that in the sense of all these great reasons why people should be vegan. Even if they don't care about the animals, I think they will once they come to be vegan. Like Rich Roll, I like to use him as an example. You guys know him, the author of Finding Ultra. He went vegan in his 40s because he was becoming overweight and unhealthy. And he was like an athlete in college. And he couldn't believe what happened to him in middle life. He came personally for selfish personal reasons. But while he was learning more and more about veganism, he learned about the environmental aspects. He learned about the animal cruelty aspects and understands all the reasons why veganism is a win. I agree with you, Peter. Yeah, in fact, I actively try to seek out political candidates who are opposed to the agricultural subsidies, the ones that subsidize cheese, the dairy industry, the egg industry, and the cattle industries. Yeah, why do those industries get subsidized with our taxpayer money? These are old, entrenched industries. They're not like startups. They have the money. They have the political clout. They don't need to be funded anymore. And why? And if a lot of politicians, especially on the right, talk about capitalism being some kind of even playing field. Well, how can startups like Beyond Meat and Just Egg compete with these old industries that are being subsidized with government money? I agree. So we need to find more politicians willing to take on that battle. And quite honestly, I'm not finding too many who aren't somehow involved with vegan or plant-based diets. There's a few, but yeah, if you're vegan, you see the wrongness of that right away and you're willing to fight that fight. That's why we got to get more people vegan. Ooh. Almost dropped my water there. Thanks, Sentient Stardust. I'm hoping to get some good rest today. Yeah, Cory Booker. There's one of our few vegan senators. Hey guys, all raising good points here. So yeah, any last things before I go here, before I join back up with my also very tired wife? Let's see. Yeah, Peter, I didn't click it yet, but I saw Mike the Vegan's video was about exactly what you're telling me here about. Well, you told me I think a couple days ago about the fishing industry having a fit about the upcoming release of our friend Ali Tabrizi's movie Seaspiracy. So yeah, I'll try to watch that, if not tonight, tomorrow for sure. Yeah, because I saw like, aha, that's what Peter was telling me. I wonder how Mike heard about it before I did. I should have listened to you, Peter, and just climbed down that rabbit hole, so I could have got a video about that too. But yeah, I can't believe it, but I can totally believe it. How the fish industry is supposedly pressuring Netflix with all sorts of pressure to not release Seaspiracy because they don't like what he says. Not because it's factually untrue. They just don't like what it says. It's going to harm their business. That's not grounds for censoring a movie, especially one that's not lying. As I said before, it's like the typewriter industry. If Netflix were around there, if the typewriter industry were to pressure Netflix to not release this movie coming out about these new things called computers, because computers might make the typewriters become obsolete. The people won't like us anymore. It's stupid as that. You can't have someone boycott a piece of art because there's something newer and better around. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't wait to see it either. Yeah, I haven't seen Ollie too much really since he's embarked on making this movie for the past, what, 3 years or so. He's traveled the world. It's quite amazing. You know, he's just Ali Tabriz, just some dude on YouTube a while ago. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we were at Veggie Grill, right? Straight Veg, and yeah, Ali was there that night. I think yeah, Ali and his wife Lucy were visiting with us, and yeah, we went to Veggie Grill, and you guys were there. You and Rachel were there, right? So that was cool. All right, guys. I'm gonna hit it. So if you came late, Peter, you could always watch the replay of this. I'll leave it up on our homepage for like a few hours. But if you got the link, if you got a notification, as always, you could watch this anytime. I just usually take live streams down from our homepage, and I kind of like them being like a limited time thing. You know, I leave it up only if something really cool happens, or yeah, whatever. You know, if Angie joins me for a mukbang, maybe I'll leave it up or so, you know, something like that. But anyway, I want to thank you guys all. I wasn't really expecting this, but I just kind of mentioned off the cuff that we were planning, me and Andrew were hoping maybe to do a pizza mukbang tonight, but we just got too tired from our experience in the sun earlier today and me all the jumping on the basketball court. But I appreciate you guys, what I'm trying to say, for funding the pizza for next time. So we're set. So all we got to do is go buy the pizza with the money you gave us, bring it back here, and we could do a pizza mukbang sometime soon. So I want to thank you guys for pre-funding the pizza for our mukbang. You guys rock. You guys literally feed us. I think that's so awesome. And thanks, Tracy. Thanks for hopping on tonight. I let you. I said we might do a pizza mukbang, and I let you down. Hopefully, I didn't let you down too much there. And I appreciate you also, Tracy, for letting me know I have access to Will. And yeah, maybe I'll try to give you guys a call this weekend. I'll text you, see what you guys are up to, and that'd be cool if I could run my ideas past Will and see if the kind of data that my proposed study will hopefully produce is going to be nice, clean data. So it'd be great to get a statistician's expert on that. So thank you. Thanks for being, everyone else, guys, thanks for being here. And I just think the last things you guys are saying there. No, a difference between a vegan and vegetarian. Vegetarians are like vegans, and they have no animal products in their diet, but they do include other things such as like dairy, and eggs. So yeah, vegans, no meat, no dairy, no eggs. Vegetarians will have some dairy, eggs. That's the big difference there. Anyway, guys, good night. Thanks so much. And I'll see you soon. And I'll keep you up on my proposed study that I'm brewing here. All right, guys. All right, much love to y'all.